Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. We've got another installment. It's the Culinary Hotline, Blink!
Tick, tick, tick! That was a little off cue. One more time. Culinary Hotline, Blink! Tick, tick, tick!
That's how we do it. Of course, we're here to solve any culinary conundrums that you might have this morning. And Chef Clem is in the building to solve it all. If you have any questions, Chef Clem is here to solve all the things in the kitchen. And you can call us right now. And don't forget the number on our brand spanking new phone. It's 021-110-5552. We are at your service, Mzansi. Well, look, we have a theme. Of course, it's the Culinary Hotline, and it's based on South Africa's staple ingredients. What are we talking about?
We're talking about rice.
Rice!
But first, so last week we were saying our phone went missing, and if there's anybody out there who'd like to donate a phone, we were joking, but then...
Did Oaks come through?
A loyal viewer, Juliet, we can say Auntie Juliet, came through and she was like, I have the phone for you. So thank you, Juliet, for our phone.
Thank you so much.
We are now accepting all types of donations, cars, money, houses. No, just joking, we're not.
I'm looking for a yacht as well on that note. Anyway, look.
Second hand's fine.
Last week on the conundrum in the kitchen, we were solving so many things, and one thing that came up quite a bit was rice, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of people are cooking with rice, a lot of people are asking you, what's the best rice for this dish, for this. And also, crazy questions, some people wash their rice. We were joking about
you should.
Zoe rinsing her mince.
She'll never live that down.
Rinse your rice, and this is literally what came through. Question that came through, this one's from Lynn Ings Odgers, and she says, I pressure cook my rice. I also rinse my rice several times until the water runs almost clear. Okay, so you can clean your rice. Then she goes on to say, when I cook it in the pressure cooker, I use the veg setting, setting it for 8 minutes, and then I take it out and steam it. That way it doesn't cook to stodge. Oh, nice tip here. And you never know how pre-cooked rice has been cooked and in what type of water. Therefore, I know it's clean when I cook it. Nice little step up here. It looks like we're getting a conundrum solved here from our viewers. I like
and we like when viewers actually send through their suggestions because we absolutely love reading it out. I mean, this isn't our culinary outline, it's your culinary outline. So send us in your suggestions as well. We love them. So, on the topic of washing your rice, rinsing rice, you should always wash your rice.
I never knew that, man. I thought because you're using water anyway, what's the difference?
Absolutely, but the one time, and this is going to be confusing, the one time you don't need to is when you're using short grain rice. Now, we spoke about this last week, didn't we? Long grain rice. Long grain rice is your regular rice you'd buy in a bag that you'd use for like almost every purpose. And today, I brought some short grain rice. And now you can visually kind of, Raul, you've had your nails done, so you can kind of hold it to camera.
It doesn't even look like rice. The common rice that looks like some sort of a pod. I don't know if the cameraman can see that.
And it's nice and round, hence it's like the short grain rice versus your normal jasmine or basmati, which would be longer. Okay.
So this is like puffier as well.
Right. You don't need to rinse this one, because what we actually want, we want that starch, which is with the long rice, actually wash that off. Now we actually want
to get that involved in this recipe. I got you.
Yeah, so this one is a nice, easy one, but we were in the kitchen when someone had a question about a paella.
Yeah,
You're gonna make it.
We're doing that now?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm hungry.
So, okay, let's get started. So I've got some leeks in the pan with a little bit of salt and a little bit of olive oil, okay? To that, I'm just gonna turn the heat down. I don't need such a hectic heat. A little more oil, because you do want a bit of oil. Remember, we said we shouldn't be scared of like oil in your food. The oil actually helps carry all the flavor, bring it all together. So that goes in there. I got some garlic for you.
Yeah, should I start chopping up for you, my man?
I've also got some shallots over there. So everything is going in here. It's very sweet. Leeks are sweet, shallots are sweet.
Yeah.
The garlic also, we're going to cook it and become nice and sweet.
Okay.
So we're not going with normal onion. You can absolutely use it. I just find the sweeter flavors, especially when you're working with seafood, is much better.
Okay, I got you. I like that.
And our seafood for the day is mussels. Do you like mussels?
Oh, seafood, I love it, especially mussels. It reminds me of just like frolicking in the rocks, in the ocean, just being free. It reminds me of the weekend, actually.
Yeah? I get it. And it's such a great source of protein, but another thing for me is how easy and quick it is to cook. So, obviously, we get ours from Woolies. They've already been cleaned, and we don't need to still, like, scrub the outside to get any of the barnacles or the beards off. It's all been done for us. That's going in. How are you doing there?
I'm actually struggling to cut this garlic because I'm getting so caught up in the flavors, and also very concerned because it looks like something's burning on the... Is that okay? Is that normal? What's going on there?
That's intentional. I took a red pepper, and we want to add that to the final step of our dish. Okay. And what you're doing is you want to char the outside to really blacken the skin. That helps blister it and separate the skin from the flesh.
Okay? So there's method to this, man.
There's always method.
All right, okay, I got you.
So that's going in there. So that's going to be for the...
garlic?
Garlic coming in. Here we go.
Right up,
now we're going to move at like record speed. You can go in.
Boom.
Okay.
Go.
So that's going in. You can use rice, especially we know that... Sorry, rice. You can use wine. But you don't need to. And I get a lot of questions saying... People say, what can I use instead of wine? And I'm actually not going to add the wine at all. And you don't need it. You don't need it.
Okay.
It's an extra flavor note, but if you don't drink wine, Leave it
The
out.
flavors that we already have here are more than enough to carry this dish, right?
Absolutely. So we're going to go with our arborio rice. Which
Wait, so we're not like steaming it and putting it in water?
No, that's going to happen in a little bit. That's going to happen a little bit. So what we're going to do is we want to kind of get all the flavor of the leeks, the shallots, the garlic into that rice. Hence, you need that little bit of oil, because if the oil's in there, it's not going to work, okay?
Yes.
So this is arborio rice, which we traditionally use for risotto. But it gives you a beautiful, like, that texture you're looking for when you make a paella. That's why we're using arborio.
Okay.
Bomba rice, which is normally used, it's so hard to find in the country. So arborio is always what I go to.
Okay.
So once I hit that rice, now you want to give the rice like a nice tan, like right on the weekend, guys. If you haven't checked, go to his Instagram. Man, he's golden and he's just oiled up on the beach, okay? So what you need to do, if you want a good reference, go to Raul's Instagram, go and check out what it looks like on the weekend on the beach. You want these grains of rice to be oiled up and beautiful. If it's not oiled up as much as Raul is on the weekend on this, he's blushing. But you want to really, really get these rice grains coated in that oil and the flavor.
Well played.
Then we're going to hit it with a little bit of, we're going to go smoked paprika and cayenne pepper. Nice smoky flavors.
Yes.
It goes so well with the seafood. Hit it with a little bit of chili flakes that's going in there. And you chili flakes, you add that according to your heart.
Your strongness,
If you
intensity.
want a nice spicy dish, you add that.
All right.
Cool. So Ralph, can I actually ask you to... No, we're actually good. Okay, tomato sauce going in. Tomato puree, okay?
So this is now starting to make this feel like more Mediterranean. It's starting to bring some spiciness to this.
Yeah.
Good balance, and taking away from this the blandness as well.
Yeah.
Clem, it's coming together quite nicely.
So quickly.
Yeah?
Okay,
How much more do we have to do? What else is left?
Not much. The rice is bubbling away, so turn the heat down, okay? You're gonna see in about 15 minutes, that rice is gonna absorb all the liquid. That's when you drop your mussels, put the lid on, 5 minutes later, you got a beautiful paella. It's a paella, and my friend Carl Wasty loves saying it's not a paella.
Paella.
Not a paella.
It's a paella. Come down and get the paella, and also the shock grain rice that we're talking about today.
Absolutely love it. I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know how much flavor it can absorb at the same time, but the perfect combination with this. Don't worry, Mzansi, we are coming back at you with another edition of the Culinary Hotline Bling! Ching, ching, ching! See you later.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, now if you were just tuned in before that, Tracy Carter got us in another level of feels. Absolutely amazing stuff. It's feeling hot right now, and of course, that's why we're heading to the kitchen. We're still discussing all things rice in this week's Culinary Hotline. So you can call us right now on 021-110-552 and let Chef Clem know your culinary conundrums. Now, of course, earlier we were chatting about rice, all things rice. We were using short grain rice, learning a lot about how to absorb flavor, how to put it into a paella. We've got so much more.
Yeah.
Cooking, smelling, looking good. We've got more questions coming through. What do you want to hit right now?
Okay, so let's talk about what we left off.
Got a lot to say, Clem.
Like I said, the paella's gonna absorb that rice, okay? I added the red pepper, and I just like dotted the mussels in them, and you can see it's opening already. That's how quick it is to make it, and we made it in real time.
Yeah, and that's the roast pepper that you were kind of like, what would you call it, charring?
So, okay, guys, we always speak the truth. So when you're doing that at home, when you're charring your pepper, keep an eye on it. Don't have a conversation. Just don't keep your eye on the pepper. I was actually went past the point of being charred, and it was cremated.
Ashes to ashes, dust.
You know, and it's very on trend in restaurants to serve you a little ash. Maybe you can use it for that little ash, little garnish. But yeah, keep an eye on it. So we made another one, and that's the peppers and mussels. That's almost done. Next
So
one.
let's talk more rice.
Right.
Because look, another thing that comes up that's big, it's when we're using rice, specifically with the risottos, another thing that comes up a lot is basmati rice.
Basmati rice, exactly.
Is that what we're looking at right now? Is
It
it
is.
something else? Because I know this is something big, and is there a big difference between this and a standard rice? Lots of questions when it comes to this, as well as jasmine rice on top of that. I mean, I could go on for days talking about rices,
can.
but let's get into basmati first, man, because this is something common I see in a lot of households.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is the one that you do want to wash. So I've set up a little bowl for you with the strainer. I'm actually going to ask you just to hold the strainer and just swish it around in that bowl of water, and just to see how the water, it will come a little murky. You can get your hands in there, kind of massage the rice.
Like
and you
keep
can
the
just,
rice wet.
You'll see like the water starts turning murky. And that's the starchiness
like
you're trying
cloudy
to,
and stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm seeing that.
That's the starchiness you want to get off. So that's a good example as to why we wash our rice. All of this is starch water, and it will just bind everything that you're using your rice with, even when you cook the rice, and it just ends up clumping together, and you don't want that to happen. So that's why we wash our rice.
Look at that murky water coming
Nice.
from the rice. Clean rice, one up and ready to go.
Wash your rice. Okay, cool. Next one is an awesome tip for load shedding.
Yeah?
Because, you know, sometimes it just happens, and it's not...
Mid-meal.
Yes, and then you can't even prep for it because they'll be like, oh, by the way, right now we're just gonna switch off. Then you're stuck, right? So a great solution is to cook rice before the time and have it in the freezer.
Okay.
So even if you make rice the night before, you got leftovers, don't put it in the fridge if you think, I'm gonna have it in 2 days' time. Rather put it in the freezer. You know
How long can you keep your rice in the freezer?
In the freezer.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you seal it properly, like in one of the Ziploc bags and squeeze the air out, you can keep it there for like 6, 7, 8 months.
So theoretically, you can do yourself a favor. Look at efficiency, look at value for time and value at effort, and make a massive bowl of rice and just kind of compartmentalize that into different barakat bakkies maybe, or ice cream bakkies, pop it in the freezer, and you've got options that are going to save you time, right? I like that.
It takes a minute to thaw and to be ready to serve. Pop it into a microwave and you're good to go.
Nice.
That means when you know, okay, I've got X amount of time before the lights are going to go out,
quickly prep
all
some
this
rice.
needs is a minute, and then you're good.
Yeah.
I've got another solution for you. If you want to make dinner, one pan quickly using some leftover rice, we're going to make a quick stir fry.
Ooh,
a fried
yes,
rice.
please,
A fried
let's
rice.
do that, man. Okay.
So you've got your knife. I've got
a knife. I've got some ingredients over here.
Spring onions, baby corn. I'm going to ask you, and I want you to chop it up any way you want, Raoul style.
Careful, eh?
Raoul style.
Raoul style.
Okay.
What are you going to be busy with over there?
I'm going to start off. So I've got some pan. I've got some pan.
You got some pan in the oil.
I've got some pan. I've got some oil in the pan, and we're going to get that nice and hot. The thing about this dish, obviously it's Asian inspired, and when it comes to Asian cooking, especially quick cooking, the most important thing is have all your prep done. Once the time, when you start adding the first thing in there, you can't start then when they're going to chop things, get things together.
And hiding in the cupboard, where's this?
Everything has to be done. So first thing we're going to go in with is some garlic and ginger, okay? Garlic, ginger going in. And you want your pan to be nice and hot, okay? If you've got a wok at home, perfect. If you've got non-stick pan at home, even also great. Okay. We're using stainless steel just because, you know, I'm gonna do this real style. You might not have a non-stick pan at home, which I would use at home.
Have stainless steel,
I'm gonna just try what everyone will have at home.
Real. Chef Clem, quick point. How do I cut these?
Any way you want.
Anyway, okay.
So keep it chunky if you want. If you want to keep some of the texture in there. If you want more of the flavor to permeate through, chop it up a little finer.
But is the end of this going to end up being more like soggy, or is it going to still keep its crispness?
We want that crispiness.
Want the crisp. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
I know what to do.
So in we're going to go with that's garlic, ginger, a little bit of peppers. Give it a little shake. That's going to flavor that oil, okay? So as soon as you get that going, we're going to go in with our rice. Because now the oil's got all that flavor.
Yes.
Same reason we toasted the risotto rice earlier. You want that flavor to go into the rice. And this is basmati rice that was cooked yesterday. And day-old rice makes the best fried rice.
What, does it just suck up all that flavor,
It just sucks up all the flavor. Okay, so get that in there. And it smells amazing, right?
Yeah,
it
man.
Smells so
I must
good.
say, I love the conversation you just had about preparing all your ingredients before, because at the same time, it gives you the confidence to have fun in the kitchen, knowing that everything's in front of you. And like you see on the show here, it doesn't become a guessing game. It's kind of just like, whoop, throw that in here. And it becomes more fun. You have a full scope of what's going into the meal without that panic, and especially when it comes to stir fry, because it's always like a live event when you're cooking stir fry. It's like you've got this moment that you need to capitalize on. The pan is hot. Do whatever you can in a quick amount of time, and then it's ready.
It's ready.
Just like
it
that.
is.
Yeah.
It is. So what do you do now is you kind of want to use your senses. So you kind of want to hear the rice popping a bit. You want to hear it almost sound like almost like when you put beef fat in a pan. It's got that dry crackle. You want that to happen.
A little bit of a fire coming through.
And I can actually do this because I'm pretty sure my mic can pick it up. So we're there. We've got that nice sound.
Sansi, shh, listen up.
That's the quietest you'll ever hear.
Sounds like a campfire, man.
Right?
Just out on the mountain, just chilling.
Ryle. Okay, very quick then. Soy sauce goes in. I haven't added salt, and my salt's going to come from the soy sauce. I've also got a little bit of fish sauce, okay?
Okay.
Fish sauce, also very salty, so be sparing with it. It's got a potent smell.
Ooh, yes, but at the same time, I can see how well that's going to work with this, and the rice is literally going to suck that up.
It is. So a little bit, again, goes a long way. So let's look at what you got for me. So you got the corn.
Yes,
You're going to add the baby corn.
rustic cuts.
Rustic cuts, and I like that. What you also want to keep in mind, if you're going to eat this with chopsticks, right? You don't want to fight the small little pieces. Keep it nice and chunky.
You don't want to be eating a piece by piece by piece. You want to get a good chunk. Of course, I like that. Chopsticks makes it all authentic as well.
That's true. I've got some prawns. I'm going to keep the shell on just because when you're making a fried rice, I don't take the shells off, but I kind of like the adventure of like getting so interactive with your food. So
you're forcing that discovery, you're forcing that connection, you're forcing the hands to get involved.
And it makes you eat a little slower and just savor the moment.
And appreciate it.
Exactly. So prawns go in there, and they're not going to take long. I mean, it's just hit the pan, and already they started changing color. And just give it a good...
Telling you now, Mzansi, the smiles I'm getting just on this alone, and we're not even finished. It's so, so good. This is a stellar meal to prepare for the family, or maybe just to show off. And you want to get the recipe inspiration now, you can head over to expressoshow.com. All the tips are right there, the ingredients, like we said, set them out before. And you can even cook this in front of your guests. Why not show off, man?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually recreate this dish tonight. And I'm going to go back to YouTube and play Tracy Carter's performance because I still have goosebumps.
Oh,
that's
that
going
is
to be...
a night set in heaven. Well played, Chef Clem. And thank you once again. Another stellar edition of the Culinary Hotline. Blink! Ting, ting, ting! Thank you so much for all those questions. Thank you for coming through. I hope we solved it all. And, of course, enjoy.